I splashed water on my face and stared at myself in the mirror. My makeup ran down my face. In the reflection, I saw Beau enter the restroom. Girls only. He ignored my warning and walked up behind me anyway. He looked at me through the mirror. That moment we locked eyes, I turned away. Tell me what you're feeling. I'm not sure you really want to know that, because it probably requires a thrust blow to you somewhere. I'm fantastic. How are you? He placed his hands on the side of my arms and began to run his soft hands up and down. Robin, the marble of the sink cut at my stomach as I pressed harder into it. After all the hard work, after everything, we're just quitting. It was only a short while ago that we realised this needed to happen. We all have our reasons. Do you believe me? We aren't leaving because we want to. The abuse thing for the most part was rebelling against his family and money, wasn't it? And now he's going back against that. I mean, you could. It's not like we lack money, Beau. This is the thing. What about you? Going back to school? I thought you won that stupid bet with your mum. This isn't about a bet. It is about my life. It is about taking responsibility. Please. I looked back at him through the mirror. You're going somewhere I'll hate, aren't you? He slipped his arms around me and pulled me into him. He didn't answer, just kissed my ear. Damn him to hell. This band is my life. I don't want to start over. I don't want anybody else. What am I going to do? He turned me around so that we faced each other. He held my head, but he didn't wipe away my tears. I could feel in his trembling hands that he was being as real with me as he could. It hurt how handsome he was. He will do what you've been doing all this time, fighting and winning. I will try to do the same. I grabbed at his hands like a desperate lover. Maybe I was one, more than I thought. But why can't you just stay here? Why go so far? Where I get my education is important to my family. My mother refuses to support my lifestyle, and more than that, she's wearing down. He straightened my head again so that we shared a gaze. I could see my own pain in his eyes. I need to do this. He began to irritate my skin. His warmth began to boil my blood. His eyes were like daggers. I tore myself from his grip and took several steps away from him. I can tell when I'm being dumped. Robin, we shouldn't have gone as far as we did. We got too close. It was just bigger displays, remember? He spun me around abruptly. I let him. You're scared. He took my hand and placed it against my chest. I could feel his rapid heartbeat. Our eyes were locked. Do you feel it? Of course I felt it. I felt it for a very long time now. And I knew that he could tell that without me saying a word. Whether I'm out the country or beside in bed, it won't change. This wasn't how he spoke to the public. This wasn't his magic. It was the truth. Sophia left me because... his ex-fiancée. Because I couldn't smile for her. Not the way she wanted. I instantly knew what he meant, and I instantly empathized with her. And now I know why. He closed in on me, pressing his body into mine. I inhaled his expensive cologne and welcomed his touch. He breathed down into my hair. I'm in your debt. I hung on to him in a moment of pure weakness. I was the one who owed him something, but I am a respectable businessman. His lips travelled down my face, kissing my forehead. I pay my dues. He moved lower still, brushing my skin with his eyelashes. My body didn't care if he was lying or putting on an act. It reacted so strongly to his words. When we did open our eyes again, to look upon each other, I was glad to see what I saw. Behind his stage makeup was just a fragile man, the one that I wanted. I moved my hands around him before finally allowing myself to crack into a smile. I guess you watch cheesy movies too. The tension diffused and he joined me in a forced laugh. It was silly but beautiful. I leaned forward and propped my head on his chest. I wished he wasn't going away. We'd probably still see each other, but after seeing each other every day for so long, a life where we didn't seemed so impossible. He wrapped his arms around me while I tried to regain my composure. I took comfort in the fact that he had to do the same. Should be a brain surgeon. Of all the things to suggest to someone, I can see you cutting apart a person's brain with a cold scalpel like it's a puzzle or a problem to solve with perfect precision. Right, okay. She's not sincerely suggesting that then. Thank you. That wasn't a compliment, Beau. People are more than just a bunch of neurons. People are like music. Like notes on a page that I learned to play. That's not what I meant at all. Is that really how you see your music? If you can't put your heart into something, is it really worth it? Take us, for instance. Have you ever put your heart into our relationship? You're wounding me with your words. I love you with all of my heart. That small black lint speckled thing. Let go of me. You don't know anything about wounding words, or else you wouldn't say things like that. What are you insinuating? I put a lot of time and thought into our relationship. I do things for you all of the time. I treat you with the utmost respect and courtesy. Sounds so loving. I never forget birthdays or other special occasions, and I'm always punctual. I always make sure there aren't any scheduling conflicts between our activities or other priorities. I'm just another priority to you, aren't I? You're managing our relationship well, aren't you? Wait, you're taking that out of context. You're important to me. You're an integral part and piece of my life. Just another part and piece. Whatever world you are building, I don't want to be a part of it. Stop twisting my words. Did I do something wrong? Yes. Did I forget something important? I was going to compliment your outfit if you would just let... No, you've done everything right. You've been perfect from day one. If I've done everything right, then what are you mad about? I can't figure out what you're trying to say. Is Beau really that much of a fucking... really that much of a robot that he doesn't understand what was wrong here beforehand? I know you can't. Beau, could you smile for me? What? Just for once, for me? Bang went the relationship. Beau led me silently back to the others, who I was surprised to find waiting for me. Feeling better? I stared at him for a moment, realizing that he could have yelled at me, but he didn't. None of them were yelling at me. It felt so good. Yes, a little. I squeezed Beau's hand. It's too late anyway. The whole thing's over and we missed it. That's okay. Emmett blinked at me. Really? I smiled and tried not to tear up again. Screw the AMPs. We never needed them. We don't need anyone to tell us we're awesome. Looks like they're confiscating our equipment. Beau broke away after another squeeze on my hand to intercept the show's crew from mishandling our expensive stuff. I followed him and dismissed a couple people trying to pack away my mic. I walked somberly up to my microphone. As I grabbed it, I looked out into the empty audience, filled only with clean-up crew and straggling attendees. It would have been nice to sing on this stage. I looked down and saw an AMP sitting next to my bass guitar, a real one. My mic wasn't powered, but that didn't stop me. She's singing anyway. I could hear my voice echo across the empty seats without the help of an amplifier. Oh, Jesus. A roll on the drums stopped me. I looked back to see Emmett had stationed himself behind his kit. He grinned at me. I grabbed my mic to sing back at him. Beau smiled and saluted from behind his keyboard. The crew looked at us like we were crazy, but this wasn't crazy. This was happy. Each repetition grew louder. The beat of the drums fell into place, and I could feel the sound build up around me. Screw a ballad. This is meant to be a rock song. I'm not singing, for those wondering why. The synths were in place now, almost there. But I just get up. I just sang. All that was missing was Dallas's riff. I watched him slip his guitar strap over his head. A pick clenched in his teeth. We played to each other, not to an empty audience. We may as well have been at Tracy's bar, practicing like we always did. Dallas with his guitar, Emmett at drums, Beau on keys. I was going to miss them. But we didn't play a sad song, no. It was far from sad. It was real. It was raw. It was about us. It was undeniably the best song in the world. But we agreed that was Dreamcatcher. What do I know? Completed Beau's romance. Rotten liar! That's no longer sort of true. The sounds of birds woke me up and I stretched my arms. In mid-stretch, however, I looked at the clock. 7:40 a.m. Oh god, it's 7:40. I darted out of bed, nearly breaking my back with how fast I moved. Shit. I didn't have time to get ready. Thank god I slept in my clothes last night. I knew it was a bad idea to sleep at my place tonight. Why did I have to be such a big distraction? Maybe he needs to learn to pack and screw at the same time. I mean, come on, cut him some slack. There's only so much he can do. You'd be offended if you were riding him and there he was just sorting out his suitcase into nice little allotments. We're not Sophia, damn it. burn severe. I ran downstairs and called a cab and told him he had a big tip waiting if he got me to the airport in 10 minutes. Even though he drove like a madman, I wasn't satisfied. Can't you go any faster? Lady, it's a red light. After having asked him how much faster it was possible to go a million more times, we were finally there. God, my life was like a bad movie. I wanted to tell him that. We were going to laugh about this, I knew. I ran through the terminal, unsure of even where to go. I checked the time again and cursed. I tried to bum rush the gates, but I didn't have a ticket, so they had to physically remove me from the area. But I didn't leave without a fight. Well, Robin changed for all of, 15 minutes. They warned me that I would get arrested if I kept making a scene, so I abandoned all hope. But I guess there wasn't much to begin with. His plane left at 8 sharp. I suppose I just wanted to see the plane take off at least. Just something. Fuck it. Fuck me. I couldn't even wake up on time. I didn't deserve to see Beau again. I slowly walked to the nearest window with a view of the tarmac. I don't know. If this is a fairy tale, why do I think that he wouldn't have boarded the plane or something and talk with us? He'd go eventually. But this is Rockrobin, so I think he's on the plane. I slowly walked to the nearest window with a view of the tarmac. I could just pretend one of these was his. There's a nice fancy one. He's probably riding first class too, drinking a martini, flashing his fake smile at the stewardesses. I pressed myself against the glass. It was cool. And when he got there, he'll fit right in. He'll speak his romantic language, drink his expensive wines. All while little French women paraded around him. I managed to smile. I really like him. But it still felt like a black hole in my chest. My cell phone rang. I didn't want to answer, but I did. Yeah, it's me. I stood up straight as the light switch on my heart flipped on. Are you? I trailed off because I knew where he was. You weren't there. I know. I overslept like the drunk idiot I am. I'm such a fucking moron. I complained about you leaving, and then I stopped because I knew that I would start bawling if I continued. I inhaled deeply to collect myself. Don't cry. We've been over this. Oh, who are you to be telling if I can cry or not? If I want to cry, then I'll cry. I was so mad at myself, but it must have seemed like I was angry at him instead. You look beautiful today. I froze and looked around, but not seeing him just made it a little worse. Nice try. I look like shit. It was worth a shot. I wanted to laugh, but I was too distressed to be toyed with like that. I sat down on the floor. There was silence on the phone. Will you call me when you get there? You know, just to know you made it and the plane didn't crash somewhere. Are you afraid of flying too? I'm not afraid of flying. I'm afraid of crashing. That did make me smile. Maybe. There was a long moment of silence as I thought about him jetting away from me. He said he would be back. That could take years. He disappears in his work, and I was lucky that work up until now has been me. And now it's something else, and we're going to be stuck with phone calls and brief visits for years. Would you hate me if I said I lied to you? What? I lied about the time. I stood up without thinking. What? I'm still here, Robin. My eyes darted around the airport lobby and my heart began to beat uncontrollably. What? And I wasn't lying. I heard his voice, but not from the cell phone. When I said you looked beautiful today. Oh, cheese. Oh, the cheese. Get that cheddar out of my mouth. Thank you very much. I turned around. He was here. He was still here. I dropped the phone and ran to him. I began assailing his face with vicious kisses. It's not wonderfully romantic. You liar! You rotten, filthy liar, I love you. He laughed as he drew me close. The feeling of being consumed by him was beyond anything I ever knew existed. Oh, then I guess you kept your promise. I guess I did. What's my reward? This. He smiled like the devil angel that he was. We kissed and enjoyed each other's presence for a while. I probably needed it a bit more than he did. When Beau's real departure time neared, we were allowed to say our formal goodbyes. I really have to go now. But please remember what I said? There's no music. There's no music. Is something bad about to happen or something silly? For lack of... I don't want to say what I think it is. Nah, it's fine. It's Rockrobin. It won't happen. But please remember what I said. Remember what I said about calling me. And promise you'll think about me, especially when those little French women start dancing. He closed the distance between us and gave me a sweet peck on the lips. The hole in my chest was washed away. Every day. I breathed easy. It could only be the truth. You know Skype exists, right guys? Like video calls all the time. It's not as difficult as you think. That's the end. Oh, that's... Oh. You know what? It makes me sad this ended. I really wish it hadn't. It was a really good game. Well, this is the credits, so this is where we'll be just fast-forwarding slightly, because otherwise people get angry. You know what? Sod it. There you are, you've seen enough. Once around the merry-go-round beat story mode once. It's fine. You guys get mad when I skip, like, cutscenes and FMVs, not credits. It's been quite the roller coaster. There was up and downs, and often it was pretty scary, but afterwards all I could remember was that it was fun, and that I want to do it again. I need to make music, I need another band, but who would join me? Whatever happened to those people I met? Rose wasn't half bad on guitar, and that Alessandro kid I met is probably a decent bassist, but so am I. Nicest possible way, Robin, like, how the fuck do you remember them? That was like 3 years ago. And then there's Danny Uncanny himself, Seth Wyndham. Would he even reconsider? Not to mention Shocker Millennium broke apart like we did, so Joel and Natasha were free agents again. I could find some potential rock stars in there somewhere, all I had to do was ask. Is open-ended even done in this version? Is that their signatures? It is, that's Alima's signature. And that's Starling. Serenity. Oh, this music is like every ballad you've heard on the Disney Channel. But look, we have a rock star. He can strum slowly as well. Rotten Liar. I presume that's the path we got. Oh shit, look, we got a different menu screen as well. That's pretty cool. Memorabilia? What's this? Achievements? Yeah, these are all achievements. What's this? Oh, right, okay. I know what this is. There's a whole bunch of people we didn't meet, apparently. I guess it depends on... Oh, Jesus. What's this? She's in open-ended mode. We can recruit her? We can't do open-ended mode yet, can we? Oh, we can. No objectives, no ending, full planner at start. Yeah, thank you. Huh. Well, that's pretty neat. Complete freedom, but no storylines over. Only character styles will generate main storyline along with character styles will generate. Very tempted to just do that. I don't know, maybe we'll stream it at some point. Open-ended mode. It doesn't quite have to be over yet. I'm honestly just sad the game's over, because it's really good. If this doesn't end up being my favourite visual novel this year, I'll be shocked, honestly. Anyway, but for now, my name's BibleThump. You should definitely all get the game and play it. You've just seen how awesome it is, and there's an open-ended mode and everything. There's probably a way to cheat your way to the open-ended mode if you've seen all of the story mode, like I just showed you and everything. But other than that, my name's BibleThump. You can't see my webcam because it broke, as I mentioned in the description, but I'm saluting right now. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.